Jeffree Star has been exposed by another former boyfriend, if you will, or someone that he hooked up with and flew out to his ranch. A TikToker by the name of Mickey Uchis made 5 TikToks, 2 of which are still on his account, kind of exposing his experience being flown out to Wyoming by Jeffree Star, but at the same time he didn't really go into that much detail, which leads people to believe he was just making these videos for clout. Here's what the TikToker had exposed.
There's shady shit going down at Star Ranch that needs to be talked about. I met Jeffree in November of 2021 when I was invited to visit the ranch. When I arrived, Nadine, the assistant, was supposed to pick me up from the airport. Never showed. So I had to buy a $120 Uber from Casper International Airport to the ranch, which is like 20 minutes outside Casper. And then when my Uber arrived, wasn't even allowed up his private road. So I had to walk the half mile up to the gates of Star Ranch, and then from there up to his house. But this was my one opportunity to take photos of the property, as there's no phones when Jeffree's around. The gates of Star Ranch.
OMG, I legit thought he was going to say the gates of hell.
Further up the road, and you can clearly see I'm not in a fucking car, I'm walking. Literally took me 30 minutes to walk up. Not many people know this, but Jeffree's not the only house that lives on that private road either. Jeffree's very intimidating to meet for the first time. He needs constant appraisal or else he turns hostile. I literally wasted all my time. I'm gonna have to make a part.
Now, just cutting in here, Jeffree has of course claimed that this is all lies for clout. So who knows if Jeffree will actually end up suing this TikToker.
Take photos of the property, as there's no phones when Jeffree's around. The gates of Star Ranch, further up the... Hi guys. So before I even had a chance to speak about my experiences on Star Ranch, I got a little present from our friend, Miss Jeffree Lynn. My very own cease and desist letter. I'm not scared of the truth. I know what went on, and I'm not afraid to bring that to light for everybody else. And here's something that not a lot of people know about, but back in 2020, when Jeffree got canceled for the first time, there's a reason he got canceled, and it's because of the influencers that are out here in LA, and the IG influencers, because they got a hold of a little bit of information that wasn't released to the public, and those bridges that he had in LA were burned, and they pushed that whole cancellation forward for him and made that a whole thing, and that info didn't even get released to the public. He was canceled on stuff that wasn't even not even under the surface of what was going on. But that's a different story, because what we're talking about today is why he fled from LA to Wyoming to try and be relevant again and hide from his little past things that he had going on. And I can tell you that the drug use, the exploitation, the narcissism is so rampant on that ranch. It's mind-boggling. It's scary that after everything that's gone on, this is still allowed, because he can buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere and just have people cater to him still. It's mind-blowing. And everybody knows about Jeffree's best friend. And I'm not talking about my ex-best friend, Boom. I'm talking about Jeffree's best friend, Tina, who's the reason why all of his bridges in LA are burned, why he had to flee to a ranch to be able to do what he wants and not get called out for it anymore. The way he would put my friend Boom in danger to be able to have his fix, I will never be able to forgive or forget. The situations that he was put in is criminal. It's wrong, and it disgusts me to this day. And before any of you try to call me out or question the validity of what I'm talking about, I'll leave you with a little bit more proof of my connections to Jeffree. This was me when I visited Jeffree's warehouse to help him clean it out, because he was closing that one down to move his warehousing to where they manufacture his products in Denver, and I was sent home with my little goodie bag. Boom literally took this picture of me, literally behind the scenes, packing everything up to ship it to the Denver location.
So after all this was exposed, Jeffree of course tried to clear things up on his own Instagram story.
I had fun on TikTok today, and I'm just going to say it before everyone makes 10,000 fake stories about it. No, all jokes aside, I think that moving forward, healing and mending things with people from your past is very important. So I hung out with an old friend, if you will, And we had a
So at this point, the TikToker then responded to Jeffree's Instagram story and included the cease and desist that Jeffree sent him for everyone to screenshot and read. Basically, Jeffree had said in the cease and desist that the false statements made caused him substantial harm, economic harm, reputational harm, harm to his business, and harm to his character and reputation.
Pause to read, because what you just saw was the cease and desist plea I received from Jeffree Cohen, Star's attorney, on April 26th. The plea is saying refrain from speaking out any further to prevent legal action. Now let me put out some facts. I am not under an NDA. Nothing that I am saying or doing is illegal. I am speaking the truth in my experiences that have happened to me firsthand. This being said, this is not my first attempt at speaking out and telling the truth. You can see on the cease and desist it was drawn up and sent out on April 22nd after I made my first TikToks trying to tell of my experiences. Those TikToks are no longer up. I have made a total of 5 TikToks, 2 of which remain. Now, unfortunately for me and Boom are no longer on good terms, and once he saw those TikToks, he alerted Jeffree. I do not believe that he is in a safe situation right now. He has detailed so many horrible things that have happened to him since going out and being on that ranch. It's overwhelming the amount of people that have reached out and confided in me with stories that are unspeakable regarding this man and how he's treated them and things that he has done to them. I'm not afraid to speak out on behalf of Boom since he can't do it himself. I understand a lot of you are not happy with the way I have been having to release information of telling my experiences and the experiences of those I was close to, but you have to understand that the situation I'm in requires me to do it this way. I'm scared for my old friend. Jeffree will stop at nothing to get what he wants in his fix, including endangering anyone around him. Tina used to arrive at Jeffree's by a guy named Switch, who would drop her off. Late one night in the beginning of January, Boom called me crying because Jeffree had a meltdown when he could no longer get a hold of Switch. He forced Boom to drive to a warehouse 2 hours outside of Casper in a town called Gillette. Boom called me sobbing the entire drive because he was so scared. It was freezing that night, and when Boom finally arrived, he was harassed. The 2 men at the warehouse made homophobic and racist remarks regarding Boom, his orientation, and where he's from in Mexico. I'm out of time, but I'm going to tell my stories on live so they can't be deleted.
So what are your thoughts on all this tea? Let me know in the comments.